Hello guys, today I'm gonna demonstrate to you a gameplay played by me, which is level 20 second lieutenants and a first lieutenant level 23 who played as a Dutch. We are not professional, and in fact we make quite a lot of mistakes in the gameplay, but this can be a demo to beginners who wish to learn the standard procedures playing French. As you can see, I start the game by building up a market. Alternatively, French players can choose to build up a trade post instead. But I usually build up my market being the first thing to do in H1, and while I age up to H2, I build my trade post. I tried to get very close to the treasure guardians, which is not the standard procedures. Usually the explorer should keep some distance with the guardians to avoid losing too much HP. But I was so afraid that the treasure might be taken or stolen by the opponent's explorer, so I would rather sacrifice the HP of my explorer to ensure that the treasures be taken by me. And I started sending 2 villagers to the hunts, so I usually hurt my hunts in H1. It is totally okay to do it while the players aging up to H2, but I just want to make sure that the hunts arrive my TC on time, and especially there are circumstances that the hunts may be back-herded. For professional players, some people can herd more than 2 hunts, 3 hunts, 4 hunts at the same time, given that you have very good multitasking, and you can also control your explorers very well in treasures hunting. While immediately after I clicked aging up button, I started collecting woods. Very unluckily, my explorer was caught by hits. As you can see, I'm gathering woods now, so I need my explorer to build up my first trade post, but likely he couldn't make it. I collected quite excessive woods here. It should have been 200 exact.
Je suis blessé! Je ne peux pas bouger!
So my explorer was dead. I have no alternatives but to assign 2 villagers to build my trade post. That was a huge waste. The position of the market was not quite good. It blocked the way of the herds. So as you can see, occasions like this, when the ways of moving forward is blocked, it is very likely that the hunts will move back. I gathered the 400 woods, which was given right after aging up, to build up my first stable, while the remaining woods will be used to build up one house and also upgrades in the market. I sent 700 woods to be my first cart and 4 villages to be the second. It is more common to send the 4 villages first, but since I built up my trade post while I was aging up, so the 2 carts arrival time were very close. It's not of big difference regarding the orders of the 2 carts. But instead, actually I need woods to build up my second house after age 2. So I usually send the wood carts first. And while I was gathering the woods sent by the first cart, I built my first barrack. I was able to make 4 houses, which is not standard. But since I squandered 2 villages in building up my trade post, so my resources was not enough to build up the 5 houses. I immediately charged to his resources region, where I caught some of his villages. He didn't have very good herding skills, or probably his building also blocked his hunts from moving forward, so probably he had back herding too. I retreated at a bad timing. In fact, if I didn't retreat, I could have got 1 more villager. And I built up my second barracks, while I need to keep my villages from producing. Since I didn't want to be covered by the TC fire of the opponents, my hussars retreated. And 2 of my hussars, new hussars, were on the way. Together I have 5. And I need to kill his explorer for earning XP. Barracks were on the way of producing musketeers. My strategy in this game was to rush the opponents and to prevent them from aging up to age 3. The best age for Dutch is age 3, so most players of Dutch, they would choose to age up to age 3 as soon as possible, because that is their best age, that they have skirms and also the Dutch version Dragoon. The French need to rush Dutch. The only composition of units will be hussars and musketeers. As you can see, in my first wave of attack, I didn't see his 8 pike, so he didn't send his pike cards. Instead, I guess he should have sent the bank cards. I have much more military buildings than his. He has only 1 stable, but I have 3 military buildings. Since my strategy was to rush the opponents, so I have to make sure that all the 3 buildings kept producing units, so that all my resources gathered can be used up. This is the primary objective. If the resources were not used up, maximum firing output could not be performed. I could have enhanced the proportion of hussars, since we didn't see quite a lot of pike and hussars from the opponents. You may think that I collected too much gold, but actually I was happy with that because I need to use my gold to buy woods. My practice was that I usually don't get woods in H2 because the gathering rates of woods was too slow, and if I gather only coins, I can better control my resources, and no excessive wood would be gathered. He had a great weight, so I lost one villager. Okay, he has gone now. As you can see in the minimap, cavalry went from the wrong way. I needed to chase the skirmishers here. My hussars chose to went back. At the same time, I caught some villagers there. That was a good attack to me. I lost only one hussar, but I got two of his villagers and also some hussars of his. At this point of the game, you will see I have too many musketeers, which were totally unnecessary. Especially, they chose to make skirmishers and they don't have any pikemen. So at this point, I also decided to make only hussars.
Je suis blessé, je ne peux pas bouger.
My second wave of attack. I charged to the resources gathered region of his, but his villagers escaped on time, so I didn't call any. Now I am confident that my units can engage this battle. I can win this battle. He made a misjudgment that his units were enough to engage me. In fact, that was not enough. This is the decisive battle of this game. Basically, he lost everything here. I'm pretty sure that he was aging up at that time. And very soon, he will have some units popping out from the TC. The Dutch version Dragoon. So he should have reserved those units and engage me at the popping time. So the Dutch version Dragoon came out, but that pop out was not of good time.
J'ai repris des forces.
I chose to guard his
Je suis blessé, je
stable.
ne peux pas bouger.
Because I'm not afraid of skirmishers. I'm afraid of the horses. I tried to trap him. cavalry was able to escape, that would be a headache to me. In fact, I shouldn't have continued to chain up musketeers. But since I have excessive resources, my objective is to perform maximum firing output. So I use up the productivity of all the 3 military buildings and keep building up whatever units. That was the perfect moment that I used up all the resources here. And that was a GG.